Good morning, my friends. You're all doing well on this snowy morning. I'm just here in the studio by myself this morning, which is fine. Everybody else staying safe and warm at home, right? But I'm just gonna do the class, and if you're at home, you can watch it. If you're usually here live, you can watch it now, you can watch it later, right? And we can all do a little bit of gentle on this happy Valentine's Day, right? So what we're gonna do, we're gonna start on our backs. So come there whenever you're ready. Just lay on your back. Let your eyes close. You can have your knees bent like mine are. Extend your legs long, whatever feels good. Just take a few moments here. Let yourself arrive. Obviously you didn't arrive at the studio. Wherever you are, you're arriving on your mat. Letting that breath start to take over. Letting it push out all of the distractions. Letting it bring you to full focus on your mat, your practice. Letting it bring you to full presence on your mat, your practice. Feel like you've got that full focus on your breath. Then you can add an element of control to your breath. Just breathe in through your nose and out through your nose. Allowing your breath to become longer, slower, and deeper. So as you're inhaling, pulling that breath all the way into your belly. And as you exhale, pushing it all the way out. That's going to allow us to move through our practice just with that one breath, one movement. Take a few more moments here. Just letting that breath kick in. Find the rhythm of your breath. Let yourself fall into it. If you're struggling this morning to control your breath, feel like it's coming naturally to you. You don't ever want to get too caught up in that, right? The only thing you need to do in this class or any yoga class that you take is be aware of your breath. And when you're inhaling and when you're exhaling, everything else is going to flow from there. So take a few more breaths just right here. Ready to start moving. Just take your right leg, your left leg, extend it long, right? So I'm just going to extend my left leg all the way along. I'm going to take my right knee, hug it in to my chest. Maybe you're doing a few circles around with that knee. Just get the hip open a little bit if that feels good. Go one direction, and a couple the other direction. If that doesn't feel good, right, just keep hugging it into your chest. And from there, we're going to take the right leg. Just kick it up to the sky, flex your foot so the heel goes towards the ceiling. Take your hands low around your right thigh. We're just going to climb our way up it, right? I call it climbing the mountain. You can walk hand over hand, let your head and shoulders come up, and just bring that leg in towards you, right? Bring your nose in towards your knee. Doesn't matter how high up you go. As high as you can, feel that opening in your hamstring, and then let yourself climb back down. So we're just going to do that twice more. We climb up the mountain. And then we climb it back down. Just do that one more time here. Climb the mountain. And then let yourself come back down. As we come all the way back down here, right? Now you're going to bend back into your right knee. Bring it back into your chest. And then from there, you're going to let your left arm come out long, right? So my left arm going right on my shoulder blades, fingertips reaching towards the left side of the room. I'm going to take my right hand to the inside of that right knee. I'm just going to come into fallen tree. Right? So my sole my right foot is against my left inner thigh, and I'm pushing that right knee open. Ground looks more like this. Just like that tree pose we do standing. We're just lying down here. All right, now from here, bring that right knee back into your chest. Give a nice hug in, and then we're gonna go the other way. You're gonna take that right arm out long. You're gonna take your left hand to the outside of your right knee and just guide that right knee over to the left side of your body. Now we're just taking a little twist. Right, now, I'm resting my right foot on my left knee, right, because that's where it lands. Maybe your foot can come all the way down. Maybe you're somebody who can get that right knee to touch the ground. If that's you, go for it. Right? But keep your right shoulder anchored to the ground, right? You don't want to come so much over that your shoulder starts to lift. All right, now we're gonna pull that right knee back into the chest, and then just switch out, right? Let that right leg extend long. Take your left knee, hug it in to your chest. All right, so we're gonna go the other way with that. All right, so maybe you want to take those circles at the beginning, go one direction, circling that knee around. And the other direction. So we're going to hug that knee all the way in, right? And you're going to kick it up to the sky, letting that foot flex, your heels going up towards the ceiling, toes are coming back towards your face. Let's climb the mountain on this side, right? So you're going to bring your hands behind your thigh and just climb your way up. So let your head and shoulders lift. Bring that knee in towards your nose, bring your nose in toward your knee. As you exhale, you're going to climb it back down. All right, do that 2 more times. Climb the mountain. And then climb it back down. 1 more time. Climb it up. And then climb it back down. As we climb all the way back down, now this time you're going to take that left knee, hug it back into your chest. We're going to do our fallen tree here. So I'm going to take my right hand, bring it out long, take my left hand to the outside of, or take my left hand to the inside of my left knee. Push that left knee open. Sole of the left foot coming against the inside of the right thigh. And letting that left knee open up. Right arm's coming straight out of the shoulder blades. It's like that tree, like I said, we do. We're standing right now. We're just laying down. Really getting into that left hip flexor, letting that left hip open up. 2 more breaths here. Take that left hand beneath your left leg. Now you're going to bring it back in. Right, so we're going to hug it in and we're going to switch out our arms. Now you're going to take that left arm out long. You're going to take your right hand to the outside of your left knee and just draw that left knee across to the right side of your body. Right, so I'm looking over my left shoulder. Again, I like to rest my right foot or my left foot on my right knee as I push that left knee down. Right, if you've got more flexibility, maybe you can get a little bit further over. Don't let that left shoulder come up, right? That left shoulder stay anchored. Just trying to open up the glute and the hip here on this left side a little bit. All right, now you're going to bring that left knee back to center. Give it another hug into your chest. Then from here, you're going to take that right knee into joint. So now you've got both knees hugged into your chest. And then bring your hands to the crease of your knees. Just rock yourself up to a seated position, and then we're going to come around into tabletop. All right, so tabletop is hands and knees pose. You're going to get your shoulders over your wrists, your hips over your knees, and we're just going to take a couple cat-cows here. So as you inhale, lift your chin up to the sky, tuck your tailbone under, let your belly drop, that's cow. As you exhale, tuck your chin to your chest, round out your back, hollow out your armpits, that's cat. Just keep moving here. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Find your rhythm here. Find the rhythm of your breath. Match your movements to it. Right now, if you going at my pace, my breath is my breath. Find the rhythm of your breath. The body and breath to sync up here. All right, now eventually, we're gonna meet back here in neutral tabletop. All right, I'm gonna come sideways here just so you guys can see what's going on as we do this next part. But you're gonna stay where you are, right? You're just in tabletop. Now, you're gonna take your right leg and extend it long behind you. If I can move back a little bit. I get the whole studio to myself, right? I can do what I want. I just want you guys to be able to see my whole body as we do this, right? So I'm extending my right leg long, but I'm looking towards the top of the mat. Now, you're gonna bend into your right knee, bring your right heel towards your right glute, and just curl that right knee under your chest. Take your chin to your chest, look down at your right knee, and then look up and extend that right leg long again. All right, so we're gonna do that twice more. We curl the right knee in, you extend it long. Curl it in, and extend it long. As you extend it long here this last time, now you're gonna drop it down. So your foot's gonna come to the ground with your right toes pointing towards the right edge of your mat. You're gonna keep that left shoulder over the left wrist in line with the left knee. And you're gonna sweep your right hand up. So we just came up here into a modified side plank. You're gonna take your right hand, make some circles with that right hand. Reach it forward and just circle it around. All right, do that twice more. Forward, circle around. Forward, circle around. And then we're gonna go to the back, right? So you're gonna reach behind you and then circle that arm all the way around. Do that twice more. Circle back, bring it up. Do it one more time. Circle it back, bring it up. All right, now from here, you're gonna come around. You're gonna keep your right hand up to the sky, right? You're just gonna come around, you're gonna drop that right knee to the ground, right, back in tabletop position. And then you're gonna take your right fingertips, dive them underneath your left armpit, let your left shoulder come to the right shoulder come to the ground, let the right side of your head come to the ground so you can all the way to this thread the needle. All right, we just turn around really quick so you guys can see the thread the needle from the front. It looks like this. Now I'm gonna take my left hand, either reach it towards the top of the mat or wrap it behind the back. And just take 2 or 3 breaths here. We're gonna do this a couple times, right? We're gonna do this whole sequence a couple times through. On this first one, I want you to stay, right? Later, we'll be flowing and we won't stay here as long. But give yourselves a few breaths this first time through, just to really feel that right shoulder open up. All right, now, wherever you've got that left hand, bring it back by your face. Right, you're gonna push up with your left hand, unthread your right hand, take it back up to the sky, and then drop it down. Now we're back in tabletop. All right, I'm gonna turn sideways again. You guys stay where you are. We're gonna do all that on the other side. All right, so you're gonna take your left leg and extend it long here, right? And then bend into your left knee, curl it under your chest. Take your chin to your chest, watch that knee come towards your nose, and then extend it long again, look up in front of you. Do that twice more, right? Curl the knee under, extend it long. Curl it under, and extend it long. Now, so we extend it long this time, right? You're gonna keep your right hand on the ground. You're gonna drop that left foot. Take your left hand up to the sky. Come to that modified side plank. See how my right wrist is right underneath my right shoulder. My right wrist is in line with my left knee. My left knee is in line. My right knee is in line with my left heel. Everything's stacked up. Now, let's start to move that left hand. You're gonna reach it forward and just circle it around, right? Do that twice more. Reach forward, circle around. Do it one more time. Reach forward, circle around. Now start to go to the back. Reach back behind you, circle that arm around. Reach back behind you, circle that arm around. One more time. And then bring it all up. And then from there, right, here's what we do. You're gonna drop your left, you're gonna keep your left hand up to the sky. You're gonna drop your left knee back down to the mat. Take that right arm, take that left arm, thread it underneath the right, so your left shoulder comes down to the mat, left side of your head comes down to the mat, and then do whatever you want to do with that right hand. Maybe it reaches forward, maybe it wraps behind your back. All right, so stay here, get in here toward the needle, couple breaths. Warmer here in the studio, so I'm just gonna sweatshirt off. All right, so we're here on this thread the needle. Now, we're taking a couple breaths this first time through, just to really open up that left shoulder. Like I said, later we're gonna make this more of a flow, and we won't stay here as long. So enjoy it here while you get to hang out. And From here, you're gonna take that right hand back by your face, use it to push yourself up. Open up with that left hand, and then drop that left hand down to the mat. All right, so we're back in tabletop. Now, from tabletop, once we've done both sides, you're gonna tuck your toes under. You're gonna lift your hips up and back. All right, so we're coming in to our first down dog of the morning now. All right, so as you're in your down dog, you can add a little bit of movement here. You can bend one knee, then the other, walking the dog. Maybe you swing your hips from side to side. Maybe you'd rather just stay still. All good. Just take the time, check in with your body. Notice what's going on, what feels good, like you can really push forward today. What doesn't feel good, maybe you need to hold back. Make sure you're listening to your body as we go through the rest of our practice. All right, now, from down dog, here's what you're gonna do, right? A little different. Walk your hands back to your feet. So you're walking yourself to the back of your mat in a forward fold. Really touching your upper thighs, head hanging heavy and long. Shake your head yes, shake your head no. Make sure there's no creases in the back of your neck. Make sure your belly's on your upper thighs. You can bend your knees as much as you need to make that happen. Now from our forward fold, you're gonna inhale, take a half lift to monkey. Pull your shoulders in with your hips. So now your back is nice and flat and the crown of your head is pointed forward. As you exhale, you're gonna come back to forward fold. We're gonna do that twice more, right? Just a little flow right here. Inhale, lift monkey. Exhale, take it to forward fold. Do it one more time. Inhale, lift monkey. Exhale, take it to forward fold. Now as you come to forward fold here, right, you're just gonna walk it forward and drop it back down into tabletop. And we're gonna do that whole sequence again, right? We're gonna take it a little faster this time, modify it a little bit, I'll show you. Right, I'm gonna come over here so that you guys can see my whole body as we go through that right side. Again, oops, I'm gonna go this way. I'm gonna face it this way. All right, so take your right leg, extend it long, and then you're gonna curl it into your chest 3 times. You bend into that right knee, curl it into your chest, tuck your chin, look up, extend that leg long, twice more like that. Curl it in, lengthen it out. Curl it in, lengthen it out. And as you get there, now you're gonna drop that right foot to the ground, take the right hand up to the sky, come to that modified side plank. We're just gonna do 1 circle of the arms each way this time. So you reach that right arm forward, circle it all the way around. Comes back up to the sky, reach it back, and circle it around. Once you come all the way back up again, now we come down, you're gonna keep your right hand up to the sky, but bring your right knee down to the mat, and then thread that right arm underneath the left armpit, right? Come all the way in to your thread the needle, right? But again, we're not gonna stay here this time. Now we just bring that left hand back, push ourselves back up, open up, drop it back to tabletop. Now this time we just switch sides, so I'm spinning around, you guys stay right where you are. And we're gonna do all that on the left side, right? So you're gonna take your left leg, extend it long behind you, do those 3 curls into your chest. Curl it in, extend it long. Curl it in, extend it long. Do it one more time, curl it in, and extend it long. Then drop those left toes, let the left hand come up to the sky, come to your modified side plank. 1 circle each way here, right? So reach the left hand forward, circle it all the way around. Reach it back, circle it around. Come back up, and then you're gonna drop the left knee, thread that left hand underneath the right armpit, come in to your thread the needle. Just take a breath here, we don't stay this time. As soon as you're ready, push up with that right hand, open back up with your left hand, then drop that left hand down. Now, we're gonna tuck the toes under, you're gonna lift the hips up and back, you're coming back into your down dog, right? So I'm facing forward here. This is from our down dog. Once we get up to down dog, we walk the hands back to the feet. Once your hands get back to the feet, take those 3 lifts here. Inhale, half lift to monkey. Exhale, fold back down. Inhale, half lift to monkey. Exhale, fold back down. One more time, we take that half lift to monkey, and then we fold it back down. As you fold back down the last time, now you're just gonna take it out, drop it back into your tabletop. All right, so let's do that 1 more time through. Come into your tabletop, extend your right leg long behind you. Take those 3 curls, curl it in, lengthen it out. Curl it in, whenever you drop those right toes down, sweep that right hand up, come to your modified side plank. Take the circles one time each way, right? Reach forward and circle around with that right arm. Reach back and circle around with that right arm. And then from there, drop your right knee, thread that right arm underneath, come to your thread the needle. Just take a breath. And when you're ready, we come right back up. This time as we come up, we open up with the right hand, and then just drop it back down into tabletop. Now we do all that on the left side. So you take your left leg, extend it long. Curl it under your chest 3 times. Curl it in, open it up. Curl it in, open it up. One more time. Curl it in, open it up, and then from there, drop those left toes. Sweep the left hand up to the sky. Reach your left fingertips forward, make that big circle, and then reach your left fingertips back. Make that circle the other way. From there, you're gonna drop your left knee, thread that left arm underneath the right armpit. Come to your thread the needle, just for a breath. And use your right hand, open back up. And then drop it back to tabletop. Now this time as we come to tabletop, one last time, we tuck the toes under, lift the hips up and back, come to your down dog. And then from your down dog, walk your hands back to your feet, come to that forward fold at the back of your mat. We're gonna take those 3 half lifts into monkey. So inhale, half lift. Exhale, hold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, hold. One more time, take that half lift. And then fold back down. Right now we're gonna stay here in this forward fold. Really getting into it, right? Maybe you need to bend your knees a little bit more. Get the belly to the thighs, shake the head, yes and no. Notice that hopefully you're getting a little deeper into this pose than you did when we first came here this morning, all right? Now, from here, we're gonna lift up into chair. So you're gonna bend your knees, send your hips back and down. Just peel the upper body up. Reach your hands forward and then bring them to heart center, right? So everybody's gonna bring those hands to heart center, right? Press your palms together, really engage them. Thumbs lining up with that true heart center, right? You're not just hanging out here, right? You're pressing those arms together, they're engaged. We're gonna take a prayer twist to the right. So you're just gonna bring your left elbow toward your right knee. Keep your thumbs at heart center. Keep your legs in chair position, let your chest open towards the right side of the room. Now, untwist here. Come back to chair, and then we're gonna twist the other way. You're gonna bring that left elbow towards your right knee. Twist towards the left side of the room. Those thumbs at heart center. And your right knee's probably bumping a little bit in front of your left as you take the twist. That's okay. Keeping your pelvis in line, but don't over-exaggerate it. Now come back to center here. And then take a deep inhale. This time, as you exhale, you're just gonna straighten your legs. Drop your hands to the mat. Come back to forward fold. Take one more half lift monkey just to reset here. Fold back down. Now this time, as we fold back down, right, you're gonna take your right foot. Keep it at the top of your mat. Take your left leg, step it way back behind you. So you're coming into a runner's lunge here. Right knee right over the right ankle, left leg nice and long. I should turn the other way, so that's what I'm gonna do. You guys see where you are, right? So you're in your runner's lunge on the right side. Now, everybody's gonna drop that left heel, so your left toes point towards the left side of the room. We're gonna rise up into warrior one. So you're just gonna peel your upper body up. Reach your hands up to the sky. Right, square your hips so that your hips are facing towards the top of your mat. Right, so we're in this warrior one. Now all we're gonna do here, right, a little different. You're gonna push your right leg straight, turn your right toes in, let your left toes turn towards the back of your mat, and then bend into your left knee and drop your arms long. Right, so you just came into a warrior two, you're facing the back of your mat. You're on your left leg. Right, so you're looking right over the middle finger on that left hand, sending that left knee towards the pinky toe side of your foot. Now from here, we're gonna straighten the left leg and drop both hands to the hips. So you'll like this, right? Then let your left toes turn towards the right leg, right long edge of your mat, right? So now we're here facing the right side of the room. All you're gonna do, you're gonna hinge at the hip and bring yourself down into a wide forward fold. The crown of your head, come towards the mat. Once you get all the way down, let your hands drop to the mat. Maybe you take your hands to your same ankle, pull down a little lower, maybe just keep your hands in the center. Right? Take one more breath here. And then from here, you're going to turn your right toes back towards the front of the mat. Yogi walk it, right hand over hand. Bring yourself back to that runner's lunge. At the front of your mat, you still want that left heel dropped though, right? Because here, we're going to come up into a reverse warrior. So you're going to lead with your left hand. Let it reach forward, rainbow all the way around until it comes down to your left thigh. And then scoop that right hand up and over. So you got that deep bend in your right knee, sending that right knee now towards the pinky toe side of the foot. Right, keep bending into your right knee in your reverse warrior. Keep reaching back with those right fingertips. Create that space. All right, now from our reverse warrior, you're just going to bring your left hand up to join your right. Let your hips turn towards the top of the mat. Bring your hands through heart center. Now we're going to take that prayer twist just like we did in chair. We're going to take that prayer twist over here towards the right side of the room. So you're going to bring your left elbow over to your right knee. Maybe it's just to the inside of your right knee. Maybe it's on top of your right knee. Maybe you can hook it all the way over, but you want your thumbs to stay heart center, right? Don't collapse with your thumbs up by your right shoulder. And maybe you're here instead of taking that hook. It's okay. Now, as you untwist here, push your right leg straight. Right, let your hips turn back towards the right long edge of your mat, but keep your feet where they are. Right toes pointed forward, left toes pointed towards the right edge of your mat. Bend into your left knee and just touch the left elbow to the left knee. All right, so now we're just taking a little skandasana. You can make it really deep if you want, dropping your hands to the mat, letting that left heel come up and the right toes come up. You don't have to make it this deep unless you want to. Wherever you are here, you're going to walk it back to the top of the mat, so that means you push that left leg straight, bend back into your right knee. As we come back around into runner's lunge, this time you can let that left heel lift. Keep your right hand planted, or left hand planted on the inside of your right foot. Take your right hand up to the side. Come into this twisted lunge. Shoulder stack, chest open towards the right side of the room. Now from here, you're going to let your right hand drop down outside your right foot. Right? You've done this before, but it's been a while. Here's what you're going to do. You're going to push off with those left toes. Now, as you step forward with your left foot, you're going to bend into your left knee. Drop your left knee. You want that left knee to land outside your right ankle. But you're going to drop down to the top of the left foot first, right? That's important, not on your toes, because that's going to restrict your movement. Land to the top of your left foot, and then just keep bending into your left knee. Let your left knee drop outside your right ankle. And then you're going to drop that left hip all the way down to the mat. Now, as we get here, right, you're either going to come into shoelace, which would mean you take a hold of that right ankle, pull it back by your left hip, and let your knees stack on top of each other. Or, if that doesn't work for you, you're just going to pull your legs to easy sit with your right leg in front, right? So you're here. I should do it towards the front, right? So you're here in the shoelace, or you're here in easy sit, right? Whichever one you choose, you're going to fold over your legs, right? So reach your hands forward, let your belly rest on your right thigh. And then slowly walk it back up. You're going to unwind your legs and just bring them into boat. So your boat could be here, right? Your boat could be here. Your boat could be here, right? Just find a little boat. And then from your boat, let your feet come back down to the mat. Hug around your shins, stick your chin to your chest, drive your forehead toward your knees. We get all the way there. Now you're going to bring it back around, right? Let your knees come to one side or the other, this way, right? And you're just going to bring yourself back into forward fold at the top of your mat. All right, take a half lift monkey here. Reset your back. Fold back down. Now we're going to do all that same thing, going the other way this time. So you're going to keep your left foot forward, right? Step your right foot way back behind you, bring it to your runner's lunge on this side. With the left knee over the left ankle, drop that right heel to the mat. And then we're going to come up into warrior one. So just peeling that upper body up off your left thigh. Reach your hands up to the sky, square your hips towards the top of your mat. That's right, now we're facing the top of the mat, reaching the hands, lengthening everything out. Now we're going to open it to warrior two, but warrior two at the back of the mat. So you're pushing your left leg straight, turning your left toes towards the left side of your mat, turn your right toes towards the back of the mat, and then just bend into your right knee. Take your arms long, right? Take that warrior two to the back. Deep bend in that right knee, looking right over the middle finger on the right hand. Now, push your right leg straight at the same time, drop your hands to your hips. Turn those right toes towards the left long edge of your mat, right? So now you're facing the left side of your mat, and you're just gonna hinge at the hip. Bring it down into your wide forward fold. Crown the head towards the mat. Once you get all the way down here, let your hands come down to the mat, and just let yourself hang in this wide forward fold for a breath or two. Maybe grab the same ankle pull down, maybe walk your hands back. So then from here, everybody's gonna bring their hands to the center of the mat. We're gonna take that little yogi walk, hand over hand. You're walking back towards the top of your mat. So turn your left toes back towards the top of your mat, bend into your left knee. Keep that right heel dropped so your right toes still point to the right side of the mat. All right, now we're gonna lead with our right hand here. You're gonna reach with your right hand, and you're gonna come all the way into reverse warrior. So just let that right hand come along your right thigh, and then take your left hand, reach it up and over. Keep bending deeply into that left knee. Deep, deep bend in the left knee. So creating that space in the left side body. Now, bring your right hand up to join your left. Let your hips turn back towards the top of your mat. Bend into your elbows. So you're bringing your hands to heart center. We're going to keep twisting here to the left. So you're bringing that right elbow towards the left knee. Again, it can be on the inside, it can be on top. It can hook over, whatever works for you. Your chest as much open as you can towards the left side of the room. Keeping those thumbs at heart center. As we untwist here, you're going to come up, push that left leg all the way straight. Let your hips turn back towards the right long edge of your mat. Bend into your right knee. Bring your right elbow to your right knee. So we're here in the Skandasana, right? This could be your Skandasana. Nice and shallow here. Just bringing the elbow to the knee. If you want to make it deeper, maybe you can do this with your hands at heart center, or maybe like me, you got to drop into the mat. But you can always let your right heel lift and your left toes lift, making it a deep Skandasana, right? Maybe I can have my hands at heart center. Oh, it's hard, right? If you can do it, go for it, right? Or you just stay in that shallow one, or you have your hands on the ground. All right, let's walk it back into our twist. So you're gonna push through that right leg, straighten that right leg out, right? Bend back into the left knee, yogi walk it around. Now you're gonna let your right heel lift here, right? And then you're gonna bring your right hand to the inside of your left foot. Take your left hand up to the sky. And just twist and lunge. Shoulder stack, chest open towards the left side of the room. And let your left hand float down. Here's where we're gonna step forward with that right foot. So remember, as you're stepping forward, you bend into that right knee. And then you want the top of your right foot to land first. So I'm pointing my toes towards the back of the mat right now. And then I drop the top of my right foot to the ground first. Then bend, bend, bend until your right knee comes outside your left heel. And then let your right hip, or left hip, right hip drop to the mat. All right, so we're gonna come either into that shoelace or into an easy sit. So maybe you can grab a hold of that left ankle, pull the left heel towards the right glute, right? That's gonna work. Then just pull your legs apart, bring it into easy sit with your left leg in front. Whether you're in easy sit or in that full shoelace, take your hands up to the sky, fold over your left thigh. That pull in your left hip. Just take a couple breaths here. Let yourself come back up. And as we come back up here, you're gonna unwind your legs, come into boat. This could be your boat, right? This could be your boat, this could be your boat. Just hold your boat for a couple breaths. And then your feet are gonna drop down to the mat. You're gonna push your belly to your thighs, hug around your knees, tuck your chin to your chest. Drive your forehead toward your knees, release that low back, release those hip flexors. All right, here. We're gonna come back one more time. We're gonna come into that forward fold at the top of your mat, right? So push yourself up, come to forward fold. I'm gonna grab a block because we're gonna use it for the next things we're gonna do here. If you don't have a block, it's okay. I'll show you how to use it without the block. All right, so once you get here, you're gonna toe your feet out wide to the edges of your mat. And then turn your heels in and your toes out. Bend into your knees and drop your hips. Come down into your Malasana, right? Now, you can take the block, slide it underneath your hips, sit on the block in your Malasana, it makes it better. Right? If you don't need the block, if it feels great to you without the block, don't use the block. If it doesn't feel good without the block, or you don't have a block, then just drop to your knees, drop to your glutes and bring the soles of your feet together. Come to bound ankle, right? Wherever you are, it's all good. We're just gonna take a few moments here. Get that focus back to your breath. So notice you still have control of your breath. Notice you still have that focus on your breath. If you lost either of those things while we were flowing, this is your chance to get it back. Slow your breaths again. Lengthen your breaths again. Deepen your breaths again. Now, when you're ready here, right, we're all gonna come down to the mat. We're gonna do our core work. We're gonna do the core work with the block. If you don't have a block, it's okay. I'll show you how to do it without the block, right? We're gonna lay down on our back. Right? I'll lay all the way down to the back. Now, I'm gonna take my feet up to the sky. If you have a block, just take the block, put it between your feet. So you're holding the block between your feet. If you have no block, right, then your feet are just up to the sky. You're trying to hold them at that nice parallel place. They're not touching each other. They're not coming super wide. They're coming apart about the width, this width of the block. All right. So all I want you to do here, take your arms overhead. So your fingertips are reaching towards the back of the room. Really flex your feet like you're trying to step on the ceiling. Like you're trying to push that block up to the ceiling. You're just going to reach up. Lift your head and shoulders up. Reach your fingertips towards the block. All right. And then let yourself come back down. Reach up. Coming back down. Reach up. Coming back down. Do that 5 more times. 5. 4. 3. 2. And 1. Now as you come up this last time, right? Just stay up. Start to pulse it, right? So you're reaching, so you're coming, reaching further, coming down, but you're not coming all the way down, right? It's a pulse. We're going to do it for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then let yourself come all the way down, bend into your knees, drop your feet. Now you still got that block between your knees. You can keep it there or you can take it out while we move around here. But here's what we're gonna do, all right? I'm gonna flip all the way around because I wanna face you guys, and we're gonna do the right side first. So you're gonna come around to your right hip, all right? So I'm gonna prop myself up on my right elbow. So my right shoulder is right over my right elbow. My right fingertips are reaching towards the front of the room. Now I'm gonna take the block, put it in between my feet, right? So a little bit more this way so you guys can see me. All right, there we go. Now, all we're gonna do here, right, you're gonna take your left hand, bring it to your waist. If that feels like it gets to be too much, you can always drop it in front of you. Give yourself a little more push with that left hand. But you wanna lift both feet together, up and down. Now, if you don't have a block, right, you're doing the same thing, but you're not letting your left foot come down onto your right. You're letting both feet move with a little bit of distance between them. all right? So do that 10 more times. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right. Now, from here, we're going to go to the other side. If you just want to flip over and keep that block between your feet, go for it. I'm going to flip around here so that I'm still facing the camera. Right? This time you want your left shoulder over your left elbow. Right? Propping yourself up. I've got the block squeeze between my feet. Again, you're going to take your right hand to your right hip. Unless that's too much, you take your right hand to the floor. Right? I'm going to do it with my block this time, but again, if you don't have a block, you're just keeping your feet slightly separated. Both feet lift that right. Lift them up and down. Up and down. So 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, now you're going to come all the way down. Right? Move that block, bend into your knees, and then just push yourself all the way up to seated. All right, as we come all the way up to seated here, now you're just going to take your feet out super wide as you can. Move back a little bit so you can still see my feet. All right, now we're going to do a little flow here. It's a stretching flow, so don't worry, right? You don't need to use the block at the beginning. All right, so I'm going to take my right hand back behind my right hip, right? And then I'm going to let my feet go over to the right. Now I'm going to push up with my right hand. My left foot is going to hit the mat. I'm going to lift my hips up off the mat, reach my left hand over, right? Now you can do this with your feet still on the ground and just reach it, or your hips still on the ground and just reach over if you want to, if you don't want to lift, right? Do that lift. It just gives us a little bit extra stretch, right? But then as you come down, as you drop your hips down, right? Now you're going to sweep your hands over. You're going to reach your left hand towards your left foot, sweep your right hand across, and just fold over that left leg. You want to keep your right hip on the ground, right? So now don't let those right toes come in. Don't lift that right hip up. Just fold over your left leg. Now, if you can grab onto your left foot, that's great. If your hands are just on your ankle, your shin, your knee, that's fine. If they're on the mat on either side of your left leg, that's fine. But you should feel that stretch in the left hamstring. And again, don't lean so far over to the left that you let that right hip lift. Keep that right hip anchored. Take 3 more breaths here. And then slowly bring yourself up here. Now we're going to do that going the other way, right? So I'm going to take my left hand back behind my left hip, let my toes go over towards the left, push into my left hand, push into my feet, right? So those right toes are going to come, this blocks in the way, all the way to the ground, right? So that I can push myself up and reach that right hand up and over. Now, if you're doing this, your hips can stay on the ground, maybe that right hip lifts, right? As you reach over, that's okay too, right? If you can lift up, lift up. And then let your hips come back down, and then you're going to sweep that right hand over towards your right leg, bring that left arm all the way across, and just fold over your right leg here. And if you can't grab onto your right foot, it's okay. Your hands can be on your ankle, your shin, your knee, on either side of your right leg. Don't let that left hip lift up, right? Keep that left hip anchored to the ground. Don't let it peel up. Try to twist from the spine, not from the legs. Get that full opening in the right hamstring. Get that little stretch in the low back. Take 3 more breaths here. Ready, slowly start to walk back up, right? We'll come back up. Now we're just going to fold straight down the middle. So you're keeping these straddle legs. You can use a block if you have one. You don't have to use a block, right? What you're going to do here, just walk your hands with or without a block as far forward as you can. Just letting that chest come forward, right? You don't want to tuck your chin. You're not trying to drive your head to the ground. Just trying to bring your chest forward. So feel this in your inner thighs, right? Here we want to keep those knees and the toes pointed up to the ceiling. Don't let your knees and toes fall out to the sides, right? If you use the block, it just helps you keep that connection with the earth a little bit longer, right? Here, I can walk out just a little bit further, keeping my hands and the earth connected, whereas if I lose the block, I have to pull in a little bit more. If you don't have the block, right, just doing the same thing, just walking your hands along the floor, letting them bring you as far forward as you can. All right, let's take 4 more breaths here. When you're ready, slowly walk it back up. So come all the way back up here, right? Now just take your left leg, swing it to the center, right? So now it's just coming straight out. Bend into your right knee and just step that right foot over to the outside of the left thigh. And we're just gonna do a little twist here. So my right hand's gonna come back behind my right hip. Left hand, they're hugged around the right knee, or maybe if you want to, you can hook that left elbow over the right knee. But you're peeling open with that right shoulder, or taking your chin and your gaze over your right shoulder. Untwist here, back to center. Now we're gonna step that right foot over. You're gonna extend that right leg long, so just straight in front of you now, right? Bend into your left knee, step that left knee outside your right, and let's take a little twist here, all right? So you're gonna bring that left hand back behind you, and again, the right hand either just hugs around the left knee, if it's available to you and you want to, you can hook that right elbow over the left knee, peel open with your left shoulder, and take your chin and your gaze over your left shoulder. Let's take 4 breaths here. Untwist, come back around, unwind your legs. Now, you're gonna bring your feet to the tippy top of your mat, right? Just you have space behind you, because this is where we lay down on our back, and we want space for our head, hips, and shoulders all to hit the mat. Take your arms long, your chin to your chest, round it all the way down so you're laying on your back. Let your hands come to your sides, palms face down, walk your heels in as close to your glutes as you can get them. You're gonna press into all 4 corners of both feet here. Lift your hips up to the sky. So we just came into a nice gentle bridge. Now, you have a block, or to use the block, you can slide the block under your hips. Let your hips rest on the block, right? Or if you're not using the block, you're just using that strength in your legs to push the hips up, engaging the quads and the glutes and the hamstrings. Either way, supported or unsupported, your shoulders should be at least slightly tucked. If you're in an unsupported bridge and you want to make it really deep, you can work one entire shoulder and then the other underneath your body. Clasp your hands underneath your body. Pushes your hips even higher. We're trying to increase the flexibility in the back here, either with the leverage of the block or with the strength in the legs. So make those work for you. 3 more breaths here, wherever you are. On your next exhale, if you're unsupported, you're letting those hips flip back down to the mat. Now, if you're in that supported bridge and you want to stay in supported bridge or stay with the block under your hips while we come to waterfall, you can, right? Or you can have your hips flat on the ground as we come to waterfall. In waterfall, we take our feet straight up to the sky. Right? Flex your feet like you're going to step on the ceiling. Now here, right, the block doesn't come between our feet. If we want to use it, it comes underneath the hips. This makes it slightly more intense because the hips are slightly elevated. You don't have to use a block. Your hips can be flat on the ground, right? Maybe you want full shoulder stand where you lift your hips up on your own. Let your hands come to the small of your back. So you're supporting yourself on your shoulders and your forearms. Right, all good options here. Let your body tell you where to go. Let it tell you which version of the inversion you would like to have today. Right, you choose. Waterfall, supported waterfall, shoulder stand. Maybe you want to plow. That's in your practice. But we're all getting the feet to go above the head and the heart, taking the blood from the feet where it pools all day, back to the head and the heart where we need it more. Increases our circulation. It's good. It decreases our blood pressure. Also good. Right? Flooding the body with all those anti-aging, anti-stress hormones. We're resetting our circadian rhythm. That's our sleep cycle. Ready to come out of this, we're all going to come out of it the same way. And we're going to bend our knees and scrape right along the face and body. Slowly drop your feet back down to the mat. All right, now if you still have that block under your hips like I do, now you're going to lift your hips up, slide that block out from underneath you. Everybody's hips come flat to the mat while your feet are still on the ground here. Right? Roll forward a little bit. Really feel that sacrum / that tailbone. You want it pressing into the mat as we come into our happy baby. So your feet come up in happy baby, but unlike waterfall, they don't have to come right over your hips, right? Your priority here is keep that tailbone on the ground. Sometimes when we pull the legs over the hips, the tailbone lifts. So keep the tailbone on the ground. And then wherever you are, separate your feet, maybe slightly, maybe a lot. Bend your knees, maybe slightly, maybe a lot. That's all up to you. Reach up for your same foot with your same hand. If you can't grab your foot, and grab that ankle or the shin or the knee. Wherever you make that connection, it's good, right? Double check. One more time, make sure that sacrum is still pressing into the mat, and then you can rock from side to side, giving yourself a little spinal massage. It should feel good as we do the spinal massage. If it doesn't feel good for whatever reason, then maybe you just don't do it. You can stay still if that feels better. We want happy baby to feel good. We want it to be the feel good part of our practice. We want it to be a happy baby. So make it feel good to you. Maybe now you need to change your leg position. You want your legs wider, straighter, bent more, to the sides more. Just find somewhere to be that's really delicious to you. Take 2 more breaths. Now from here, you're going to take your knees and hook them all the way in to your chest. We're going to do our final twist right here. So let both arms go out long like wings in that T position. Fingertips coming straight out of the shoulder blades. Drop your knees over to the right. Let your chin and your gaze go over your left shoulder. So maybe you take the right hand, press those knees closer to the ground, or maybe you extend your legs so that your toes go towards your right fingertips. Maybe just stay where you are. Keep that left shoulder anchored. That's what's giving you the twist. On your next inhale, you're going to pull those knees back to center, and then you're going to drop them to the left as your chin and your gaze go to the right. Right, it's the same thing here. If you take your hands, left hand, push those knees closer to the ground. If you extend your legs toward your left fingertips, or maybe you just stay where you are. You're keeping that right shoulder anchored. We always finish off with this twist because it seals up our practice. Lets our bodies remember everything that happened today. So next time we come practice, it's a little bit easier. Go everywhere a little deeper. On your next inhale here, bring your knees back to center. Give them one final hug into your chest. And let's set up for our final pose, our Shavasana, right? So your traditional Shavasana, flat on your back, with your legs extended and your hands at your sides. But don't stay there if that's uncomfortable to you. You can bend your knees, let the knees fall in against each other. That takes pressure off the low back. You can butterfly your legs, bring the soles of the feet together. You can roll to your side or roll to your belly or sit up. Just find somewhere where you can be, where you're perfectly comfortable, where you're going to be able to stay perfectly still. Most importantly, where your mind is going to be able to go perfectly quiet. Once you're there, notice your breath again. You don't have to control your breath anymore. You want to let your breath go. You want to let it do its own thing. Sometimes that's harder than it sounds, right? Releasing control of the breath. We've been focused on controlling it for an hour. As you release control of your breath, you're going to keep that full focus on your breath. Keep noticing your breath. Keep observing your breath. When you can master that, right? Releasing control of the breath, yet still keeping that full focus there, It allows your breath to guide you right to a place where there's nothing left in your mind but you and your breath. And that's your true quiet of the mind. Now slowly start to come back into the room. Wiggle your fingers, your toes, feeling that increased sensation that comes with a quiet mind. If you want to here, you can take your arms overhead, do a nice full deep body stretch. And then roll over onto your right side in a fetal position. Take a few breaths there just to reacclimate to your space. The sights and the sounds of the room come back to you. Take as long as you need right there. When you're ready, only when you're ready, we're going to push ourselves up to seated. We're going to close here. So we're going to close with our 2 Bhamari breaths and then an Om. The Bhamari breath, we inhale as we exhale, make that little humming sound in the back of the throat. The Om is the universal syllable. It uses all parts of the throat. You can join me in these breaths. You can just listen. You can turn this off right now, right? But let's all close our eyes and we'll inhale together. Inhaling again. And then we'll inhale one final time and Let your eyes drift open. Bring your hands to heart center. Thank you, all of you, for sharing your energy, your practice with me this morning. The light in me honors the light in each of you. Namaste. Right? So I will plan on seeing all of you next Wednesday night, like weather permitting, like everything this week, right? I don't know what it's going to do. So keep watching in the group. If we have any other changes for tomorrow, we will let you know. Otherwise, Liza will be here in the morning with some Payo, and Heidi will be here with some Gentle, or maybe they're just going to be streaming too if the weather's still bad. But I'm glad that you guys could all stay and watch me safe from your homes. It's probably as many people have watched me live in a long time. And I will hopefully see you all on Wednesday. Have a great rest of your weekend.